Connecticut may look peaceful with its quiet towns and beautiful nature, but hidden behind that calm are ghost stories that have been told for generations. From haunted houses to creepy cemeteries, the state is filled with places where spirits are said to still walk among the living. Here are some of the most haunted places in Connecticut that will chill you to the bone. Number 1. Union Cemetery in Easton, Connecticut, is often called one of the most haunted cemeteries in the United States. This centuries-old burial ground dates back to the 1700s and has been the site of countless ghost sightings and strange happenings. Paranormal experts like Ed and Lorraine Warren have spent years investigating it, even capturing supposed video evidence and writing about their experiences in books. The most chilling part of Union Cemetery is how many different spirits people say they've seen there, especially at night, when the cemetery takes on an eerie silence that feels almost alive. Many people claim to have seen the ghostly figure known as the White Lady. She is said to wear a long white gown, sometimes mistaken for a wedding dress, and has long dark hair. She often appears suddenly in the middle of the road near the cemetery. In one story, a firefighter hit something that looked like a person, only to find no one there, but his car had a dent, as if he had really struck something. Her spirit has been caught on camera by several paranormal investigators, adding to her legend. Another terrifying spirit reported is the glowing red-eyed figure. People say it lurks in the bushes or behind tombstones, watching visitors in the dark. Those who see it often feel as if something is following them, and some even report hearing footsteps that match their own pace. Some believe this ghost could be the spirit of a man burned alive near the cemetery in the early 1900s. Drivers passing by the cemetery also report picking up a ghostly hitchhiker. This spirit is said to appear in the backseat, tapping on windows or breathing heavily, only to disappear moments later. These reports have frightened many who unknowingly drive by the cemetery late at night. Visitors often speak of strange physical reactions like dizziness, nausea, or headaches while standing near certain graves. In one case, a team recorded a man's voice cursing on their equipment, even though no one in the group spoke during the recording. These ghostly events continue to scare and amaze people, keeping Union Cemetery one of the most haunted places in Connecticut. Number 2. Curtis House Inn in Woodbury, Connecticut, is one of the oldest continuously operating inns in the state, dating back to 1736 and officially becoming an inn in 1754. Over the centuries, guests and staff have shared numerous eerie experiences. Paranormal investigators, including Ed and Lorraine Warren, have validated many of these incidents, describing curses tied to tragic deaths or unresolved histories of former owners and workers. One story tells of Lucius Foote, an early owner who reportedly died under mysterious circumstances after winning a poker game and heading home through the nearby cemetery. His ghost, sometimes seen as a Confederate-style gentleman, is said to stomp into room 1, remove his boots, announce, "I've had a rough ride," and even settle into bed beside unsuspecting guests. This eerie apparition has been reported more than once, leaving guests stunned. Another unsettling presence centers around a large portrait of Anthony Stoddard, the inn's original builder. Staff often felt over-supervised and uneasy when standing near the painting. Eventually, it was moved to the dining room, and the atmosphere noticeably improved. On the second floor, room 16 is claimed to be Sally's domain, a recurring female entity who tugs at covers at night. Some female guests say their blankets were moved, while men report being tucked in as if by an unseen hand. Employees also speak of Joe, a former dishwasher who died in 1985. His spirit occasionally appears in the basement, often by the same plate he used to eat from, quietly continuing his unseen duties. Number 3. Dudley Town in Cornwall, Connecticut, is widely believed to be haunted because its history is marked by hardship, tragedy, and a legend of a family curse tied to early settlers. Originally settled in the 1740s, the area suffered repeated crop failures, mental illness, and untimely deaths. Some say these were natural, caused by poor soil and contaminated water. Others attribute them to a curse linked to the Dudley family, allegedly descended from an English nobleman executed in the 1500s. Although historians dispute this lineage, the stories persist. Tragic events fuel the haunting claims. In 1804, General Herman Swift's wife, Sarah, was struck by lightning on their porch and killed instantly. The grieving general soon lost his mind. Another tale speaks of the Brophy family. His wife died of tuberculosis, their children vanished into the woods, their home burned mysteriously, and Brophy himself disappeared. Dr. William Clark's wife reportedly went insane after spending time alone in Dudley town, talking about strange creatures emerging from the forest. She later committed suicide. These overlapping tragedies contribute to an atmosphere of despair and darkness. Paranormal investigators describe strange phenomena. Sudden oppressive silence as if nature has vanished, unexplained lights flickering among stone foundations, and disembodied whispers or heavy breathing in the woods. One chilling report includes the appearance of a large black dog, staring unnervingly at visitors before vanishing, echoing English folklore of spectral hellhounds. Number 4. Ledge Lighthouse, also known as New London Ledge Light in Connecticut, is believed to be haunted because of its isolated location, long history of lonely keeper duty, and eerie stories that echo through time. Built in 1909, this offshore lighthouse demanded years of solitude from its keepers, conditions perfect for unsettling experiences. Over the decades, many lighthouse workers and Coast Guard personnel reported strange events, which were collectively attributed to a ghost known as Ernie. Though there's no official record of Ernie's existence, his legend speaks of betrayal, sorrow, and restless spirit energy that refuses to leave. One often told tale says Ernie was a keeper whose young wife ran off with a ferry captain. Heartbroken, he committed suicide by throwing himself off the tower. Since then, keepers claim to hear doors slamming, bedsheets yanked, and TVs turning on and off, as if Ernie still goes about his duties or is venting his grief. There are reports of boats tied to the lighthouse drifting away by themselves, despite being securely fastened. Some say Ernie unties them, as though testing his humanness. In some chilling encounters, psychics who visited described oppressive cold spots and felt an urgent presence near the top floor, where they believe Ernie's spirit is strongest. If you leave the keeper's room alone, you might hear someone whisper your name or hear footsteps walking around in an empty room. Number 5. Sterling Opera House in Derby, Connecticut, is believed to be haunted for several reasons rooted in its long, layered history and the many voices that seem to linger within its walls. Built in 1889, the Grand Italianate Theater later became a city hall, police station, and jail. Over the decades, the building switched from bustling performances to echoing silence, eventually falling into disuse. This shift from joyful gatherings to bureaucratic functions and public detention left behind a unique mix of emotional energy. Many people believe that these intense experiences, performances, authority, confinement, have imprinted themselves on the building, creating ideal conditions for hauntings. Visitors have reported kneeling shadow figures and mysterious orbs floating in the auditorium, said to be echoes of past performers and patrons. In one notable instance, a child's handprint appeared in dust on a seat, seen in photos by ghost hunters. Another story involves an apparition known as a little boy, nicknamed Andy, who is said to play with a toy ball in the balcony. The ball is sometimes found in different spots the next day. Some paranormal teams captured EVPs, voices saying things like, "Help me," or a child uttering, "Me Elliot," especially in the basement and dressing rooms. Several visitors speak of cold spots and the feeling of being watched, notably former Mayor Stafiri, who experienced the lights in the basement flickering and felt unseen pressure on his back. Reports also include strange noise like rats scurrying and the loud slamming of old jail cell doors in the basement, where the police once held prisoners. Number 6. Downs Road in Hamden, Connecticut feels haunted because of its abandoned stretch of forest-lined pathway, old foundations, and a long history of unsettling tales. Closed off at both ends, the road cuts through dense woods and seems frozen in time. Its mysterious atmosphere has inspired stories passed down through generations of locals and explorers. Many believe the road's isolation, old ruins, and past tragedies have created a space where fear, folktales, and reported paranormal activity blend into something eerie and terrifying. One of the most persistent legends is the Downs Road Monster, described as a 4-foot-tall, hairy creature resembling a small Bigfoot or melonhead. Multiple witnesses, including a group of teens, claim to have seen it wandering the woods or darting away when spotted. Unexplained car damage and claw marks have also been attributed to carnival-style creatures or malformed beings dwelling there. Some people wake to find scratches on their parked car doors after stopping nearby. Stormy or late-night visitors speak of screaming echoes and sudden panic. Hikers describe feeling an overwhelming sense of dread, hearing distant screams, or feeling chased by an unseen force. Whether fueled by imagination, local folklore, or real unexplained phenomena, Downs Road's combination of creature tales, ghost sightings, scratches, screams, and odd lights makes it one of Connecticut's most chilling and mysterious places. Number 7. Seaside Sanatorium in Waterford, Connecticut, began its life in the 1930s as a place of hope for children suffering from tuberculosis, designed by architect Cass Gilbert. Over time, it transitioned to care for elderly and mentally impaired patients. However, rumors of mistreatment and unusually high death rates in the 1970s and 1990s fueled its ominous reputation. Abandoned since 1996, the property now lies mostly boarded up and fenced off, yet whispers of ghostly activity persist. Many people have reported seeing shadowy figures drifting across the grounds. These spectral shapes, which some claim resemble former patients or staff, are often spotted near broken windows or empty hallways. Visitors say their cameras capture orbs of light hovering over old beds or staircases, photographic anomalies that investigators interpret as spirit energy. Audio recordings taken during nighttime explorations have picked up EVPs, voices that whisper ghostly faint laughter. Physical sensations are also frequently reported. One guest said, "I will never go back," adding that even their dog sensed something off and began whining. Number 8. Charles Island, just off Milford, Connecticut, is known as one of the state's most haunted and cursed spots due to its rich history and disturbing legends. It's a small 14-acre island linked to the mainland by a sandbar that disappears under high tide. Locals believe that the place is cursed by Native Americans, pirates, and treasure hunters. One chilling tale speaks of an ancient Native American curse, allegedly pronounced by the Paugussett tribe after European colonists claimed the island. The curse supposedly declared that no buildings would last, and indeed, each habitation crumbled over time. Another popular story involves Captain William Kidd, who is said to have buried treasure beneath a giant rock called Hog Rock around 1699. Rumor holds that Kidd cursed the island to keep treasure seekers away. Visitors report hearing ghostly whispers near the rock and catching glimpses of glowing apparitions in the woods. Other ghostly encounters include disembodied voices and eerie moans coming from the island's tree-lined interior, often in the quiet hours near the sandbar. Hikers sometimes hear footsteps or distant singing, even when no one else is present. Many report strange lights flickering among the ruins of abandoned structures, sometimes visible even in daylight. These lights are thought to be spiritual echoes of past inhabitants, patients, or treasure seekers trapped between worlds. Number 9. Captain Grant's Inn, built in 1754 near Pocatanic Village, carries a haunted reputation rooted in its age, history, and proximity to old cemeteries. The inn was originally a family home for Captain William Grant, whose wife, Mercy Adelaide Avery, lived there for decades after he was lost at sea. Guests most often report strange occurrences in the Adelaide room. One night, a visitor awoke to see a colonial-dressed woman holding 2 children at the foot of the bed. The TV switch turned itself on and off, and a shower curtain tumbled down without anyone touching it. These spectral actions give the feeling that Mercy may still roam where she once lived, waiting for her husband. Many have felt invisible hands caressing their faces or heard knocking in empty rooms. Paranormal investigators also captured EVPs, including childlike voices saying "come back in here," and recorded footsteps in the attic when no one else was present. Visitors have also seen shadowy figures drifting through hallways, and glowing orbs or mist sometimes appear in photographs taken at night. One guest reported feeling a presence brush past them while exploring the attic, despite being alone. Number 10. Old Newgate Prison and Copper Mine in East Granby, Connecticut, is often called the most haunted spot in the state. It began as a rugged copper mine in 1709 and became Connecticut's first state prison in 1773. With years of suffering, escapes, and hangings, the site earned the nickname Hell. Due to this violent history, many believe the intense emotions and tragedies left spiritual echoes, ghosts that still roam its dark corridors and mine shafts. Many visitors report sudden cold spots and a heavy feeling in the underground prison tunnels. One guest said they felt physically weakened, as though gravity was pulling them into the earth, and described that part of the mine as pure evil. This draining sensation is one of the most common signs of the prison's lingering presence. Numerous witnesses have heard disembodied moans, fearful screams, and echoing footsteps late at night. Some claim these voices come from empty cells or deep mine shafts, possibly recalling failed escapes or executions. The legendary last man to die there, falling to his death during an escape attempt, is said to still walk the well shaft area. People often speak of unseen touches, feeling brushes against their arms or shoulders when no one else is nearby. A few even reported chains rattling unexpectedly, as if spectral prisoners still remain bound inside. Visitors have seen ghostly faces peering from rock walls, a wandering silhouette in prison garb, and even a black dog-like form roaming the ruins. Number 11. Abigail's Grill and Wine Bar in Simsbury, Connecticut, historically known as Pettibone Tavern, is believed to be haunted because of its dramatic past, age, and countless strange events reported there. Built in the late 1700s, this former stagecoach stop may host more than just diners, as folklore, fire damage, and whispered accounts shape its eerie reputation. Many believe the most famous ghost, Abigail Pettibone, continues to linger. Her story and unexplained events here have made it one of Connecticut's most talked about haunted dining spots. One ghostly account speaks of Abigail's apparition near the second-floor women's restroom. Visitors and staff often feel an icy chill in that hallway, and some swear they've seen a pale, colonial-dressed woman standing motionless near the bathroom door. Another report involves furniture moving by itself. Large tumblers flick off bar shelves and chairs shift across wooden floors without anyone touching them. Guests have also heard disembodied voices calling their names, even when no one else is around. Servers and managers alike confirm that these whispery calls echo through empty hallways or behind closed doors. These stories ensure Abigail's Grill and Wine Bar remains one of Connecticut's most fascinating supernatural dining spots. Number 12. Hearthstone Castle, perched atop a wooded hill in Danbury's Terrywile Park, was built in the late 1800s as a grand summer retreat. Over time, it fell into neglect under city ownership, its roof collapsed and walls crumbling, yet its eerie presence remains powerful. Several hikers report sudden, unseen hands throwing twigs or light stones at them, as though some invisible force is warning people to stay away. Many feel an inexplicable breeze or chill near the castle walls, even on warm days, as if an unseen specter breathing down their necks. Visitors also describe seeing ghostly silhouettes of a man pacing or sprinting across the grounds, vanishing into the shadowy turrets before one can focus on him. Eerie glowing orbs have been captured through windows or perched atop the roofline, drifting through broken doorways before disappearing. Those who linger report whispering voices or soft murmurs echoing through empty rooms and overgrown corridors. Some say they even heard a woman's voice humming faintly in the castle's remains. These distractions, paired with sudden chills and a heavy sense of being watched, transform Hearthstone Castle into a place where the boundary between history and haunting feels thin, making it one of Connecticut's most quietly terrifying landmarks. Number 13. The Yankee Peddler Inn in Torrington, Connecticut, is considered haunted largely because of its rich history, long-standing reputation, and countless personal experiences that hint at something supernatural. Built in 1891 by Frank and Alice Conley, the inn originally thrived as a Victorian gem, and over the decades saw many changes in ownership and function. Its age, layered stories, and the tragic deaths of its founders, Alice died in room 353 just months after her husband, set the stage for paranormal activity that persists today. Guests consistently report seeing the ghost of Alice Conley in room 353, where she passed away. Her presence is frequently accompanied by an antique rocking chair that moves on its own, strange flickering lights, and odd smells that appear without explanation. These incidents suggest that Alice's spirit remains deeply connected to the place she helped build. Room 295 is haunted by what many believe to be Frank Conley's spirit. Witnesses have seen a gray-haired gentleman walking in the hallway or using the old phone near the bar, and some guests report feeling invisible forces climbing into bed with them at night. The basement and lobby are hotspots for unexplained sounds. Guests recount hearing whispers, phone ringing when disconnected, silverware sliding across tabletops, and chairs rocking, even when no one is near. In some cases, investigation teams have recorded ghostly phrases like, "That's not fair," from empty rooms. The combination of historical context, repeated sightings, and personal testimony keeps the legend of Yankee Peddler Inn alive, making it one of New England's most persistently haunted locations. Number 14. Fairfield Hills Hospital in Newtown, Connecticut, once housed as many as 4,000 patients and operated from 1931 until its closure in 1995. Its vast campus, comprising 16 interconnected buildings and underground tunnels, earned a haunting reputation, fueled by harsh treatments. One ghostly tale involves the labyrinth of tunnels that once connected the wings. People claim they've heard whispering voices, footsteps echoing behind them, and sudden chills while inside these underground passages. Another story speaks of disembodied screams and moans heard near the morgue and old treatment rooms, especially at night. Some investigators say they heard crying voices, believed to be those of tortured souls desiring peace. Physical symptoms are another eerie aspect of the experience. Many who wander the campus report nausea, headaches, and a heavy sense of unease near certain abandoned buildings. The haunting reputation of Fairfield Hills persists not only through its tragic past but also through these ongoing reports of whispers, apparitions, and unexplainable phenomena that chill anyone brave enough to explore its historic walls. Number 15. Sheffield Island Lighthouse in Norwalk, Connecticut, is considered one of the state's eeriest haunted sites. Built in 1868 on the rocky shoreline of Long Island Sound, the isolated location and its long history of keepers and tragic events give it a haunted feel. Early in the 1970s, the lighthouse keeper mysteriously collapsed and died while gazing through his spyglass at boats passing by. There was no clear cause for his death, and many now believe his sudden end set the stage for paranormal happenings. In 1991, an archaeologist named Karen Orofsky visited the island and reported hearing strange chanting or music drifting over the water. She also heard distant cries for help and a foghorn, the odd part being that no foghorn exists on the island. These unexplained sounds sparked widespread reports of haunting. Many attribute these eerie echoes to the spirit of Captain Robert Sheffield, the original island owner known for playing unusual musical instruments. Paranormal investigators believe the drifting music may be his ghost still serenading the island. Other visitors report seeing a ghostly figure dressed in 19th century lighthouse keeper clothes, wandering the grounds or peering from windows. Together, these tales, mysterious death, phantom music, ghostly keepers, and child voices, combine with the island's isolation to make Sheffield Island Lighthouse a spine-tingling destination.